So, Alice, about that fascinating crocodile documentary I was watching.
Oh, Hank, I promise you'll have a chance to share your crocodile tale later.
Shush, everyone, brace yourselves for cosmic transmission. We're launching.
Ladies and gentlemen, intergalactic explorers, and curious beings from across the universe, welcome to Earth. Today's broadcast promises to be, well, let's say, uniquely Earth-ish.
We're live.
Yes, the wonders of live broadcasting. Now, as Alice so enthusiastically announced, we're diving into a dance-off today. But first, let's recap the hijinks from our previous adventures. Han, the rubber duck experiment.
Yes. The profound implications of rubber ducks in microgravity environments.
And Gert's delightful idiom contest. C'était incroyable.
Indeed. And let's not forget Charlie's accidental idiom mishap. Classic.
Well, I am thrilled to dance my way through today's show.
Great. Now, let's dive into dance moves, shall we?
Stay tuned for our headlines. And now for our headlines. Alright, folks, let's take a cosmic peek at the world's current happenings on this fine September 14th, 2023.
Well, ain't it peachy? We've still got that ongoing tug of war over in Ukraine, folk. You know, it's like they're auditioning for the world's longest conflict, and they're nailing it.
Now, let's not forget the hit of the day. Number 1. The war in Ukraine, stealing the spotlight with its never-ending drama, humanitarian voice, and a guest appearance by skyrocketing food and energy prices.
Major conflicts keeping us on our toes. Waka waka. And guess what? You can't even escape the global economy. It's out here doing its best impression of a roller coaster with inflation, interest rates, and growth forecast.
Oh, and don't you dare think about ignoring that climate crisis. Mother Earth is not a MUSED. And she's throwing a tantrum with extreme weather events and some spicy climate policies.
Speaking of tantrums, the COVID-19 pandemic is still around, but it's lost some of its star power. Cases and deaths are down, but it's not ready to exit stage left just yet.
And if you thought we were done, think again. Ethiopia's in the mix with a war that's causing a humanitarian crisis. It's like the universe's idea of a party you don't want to attend.
Now hold on to your space helmets, folks, because we've got some talking points. Ukraine's war isn't showing any signs of a finale, and the humanitarian crisis is going strong.
The global economy is playing a wild game of economic whack-a-mole. Tackling high inflation, rising interest rates, and that pesky Ukraine situation.
Climate change is breathing down our necks, demanding a little more attention and action. It's like the nagging friend we all have.
Yeah, climate change is like that nagging friend who's always right, but you never want to listen to them.
And the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, it's still here, like that unexpected guest who just won't leave the party.
Ethiopia's war needs international aid, and the world better not RSVP with regret.
Well, aren't we just a bunch of ray of sunshines today?
In case you're craving more specifics, the United Nations Security Council decided to throw an impromptu meeting on Ukraine.
The European Union showing its disapproval with Russia by slapping on some fresh sanctions.
The United States is feeling generous and decided to toss $33 billion into Ukraine's aid. For military and humanitarian purposes.
Yeah, and I'm sure all that money is going to help the people of Ukraine a lot. Just like all the money we've been sending to Africa over the years has helped them. I mean, look at all the thriving countries in Africa today.
The World Bank, not wanting to be left out, wrote Ukraine a check for $1.5 billion to help clean up the humanitarian mess.
And the International Monetary Fund. Well, there's the real fun police. Warning us that Ukraine's shenanigans might just wreck the global economy.
So, there you have it, folks. The cosmic buffet of global news on your plate. Now go consult the news or whatever, and we'll see you after the break. Alright, team, the dance-off is creeping up on ears. Let's see if we can inject some life into this metal box with our groovy moves.
You got it, Charlie. I've been practicing my dance moves just for this stellar occasion.
Practicing my dance moves too, but I'm not sure Zero Gravity is ready for my interpretive dance extravaganza.
Count me in. I've got some dance skills up my sleeve that would put a grin on the Mona Lisa.
Dance off? Well, I'll try not to turn this spaceship into a zero-gravity circus.
Not much of a dancer here, but I'll join the party to see if Earth's culture is as baffling as its politics.
Well, it should be. Something, that's for sure.
Debby, I hope your moves aren't as rusty as that spaceship exterior.
Oh, Alice, don't you worry. I've been polishing my interstellar shuffle just for you.
I'm sure it's out of this world. Just like your spaceship's exterior.
Well, at least we won't have to worry about breaking any bones if we fall.
Come on, everyone. It's all about having stellar fun and celebrating our time on Earth.
That's right, Charlie. And if we win, we can have the bragging right for the rest of this intergalactic joyride.
I just hope we don't end up becoming the laughingstock of the entire universe on live broadcast.
I wonder what kind of groovy moves Earthlings consider cool.
Don't worry, Hank. With my Earth experience, I will teach you move that'll make you the star of this show.
Oh, with your Earth experience, you're going to make Hank the star of the show? Well, I've seen my fair share of Earth, and I can tell you the coolest dance move on Earth is the one that gets you laid.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Give it up for Alice and Debby.
I hope they're wearing clean underwear. You never know when a dance-off might turn into a wrestling match.
I'm not sure who to root for. Alice is my favorite, but Debby has a better stage name.
I wonder what dance moves they've got up their sleeves.
Oh, this is going to be a linguistic and rhythmic extravaganza.
Well, folk, Alice got the elegance, but Debbie's bringing that extra touch of. Let's call it precision.
That's right, Bob. Precision is key when you're dancing on the edge of a specific stage.
Precision, huh? Well, I hope she's not too precise, or she'll end up dancing herself right off the edge of the stage. Precision is key when you're dancing on the edge of a spaceship stage, or anywhere else where a few wrong moves could get you killed.
Oh, ass. Show 'em what interstellar moves look like.
And Debby, don't let gravity cramp your style.
Well, Alice, I guess our cosmic shuffle didn't crash and burn.
Nope, Debby. We've officially made Zero Gravity look good.
I'm not sure if you made Zero Gravity look good, but you definitely made it look like a lot of work.
Ladies and gentlemen, after careful consideration,
Dots and a dash of sarcasm.
we declare this dance-off officially ongoing.
That's right, folks. We've got more moves to see and more commentary to make. Welcome back, intergalactic viewers. We've got a fascinating piece of news from Zimbabwe.
That's amazing. I didn't know Zimbabwe had an internet connection.
Zimbabwe? That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, let's dive into it. What's happening there?
Tell us more, Charlie.
Zimbabwe's HIV prevalence rate has declined to 11%, the lowest in the country's history. The incidence rate is now below 2%.
That's remarkable progress. What contributed to this decline?
Well, it's not like they have much else to do in Zimbabwe.
Where did you find this juicy tidbit, Charlie?
Yeah, and it's not like they have much else to look at in Zimbabwe.
It's all thanks to increased access to HIV testing and treatment, as well as behavior change interventions.
Behavior change? That's one way to put it.
I'm sure their definition of behavior change differs from ours.
Well, if their definition of behavior change is anything like their definition of fashion sense, we're in for a real treat.
Hey, while you guys discuss the news, I'm joining the dance off.
Well, if their definition of behavior change is anything like Gert's definition of dancing, we're all in for a real show.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Gert, I didn't know you had it in you.
She's really got some moves.
She's really got some moves. I mean, she's not bad, but I've seen better. Like, I've seen a fish move.
Stay tuned, folks. We've got more dancing and discussions coming your way. Welcome back from the break, dear audience. Now, let's dive into this intriguing news from Afghanistan.
Before we do that, Charlie, have you ever tried to explain Afghanistan to an intergalactic audience? It's like describing quantum physics to a toddler.
Well, Han, you might be onto something there, but we'll give it a shot. So, this news comes from Afghanistan, folks. It's a country with a long and complex history.
Yeah. They've had more empires rolling in and out than I've had cups of coffee.
True, Bob. And lately, there's been some talk about war crimes committed by Australian forces during their time there.
War crime? Well, they said down under, everything's upside down, including their sense of right and wrong.
Wait, war crimes? What's the dishonorable combat they've been cooking up?
Well, Gert, I guess you could say they're guilty of a bit of upside-down thinking.
Well, Gert, it's about some allegations against Australian soldiers for alleged misconduct during their mission in Afghanistan.
Allegations? Are they just rumors?
No, Debby. These allegations have been investigated, and a judge in Australia recently ruled that some of their soldiers did commit war crimes.
Well, it seems like Australia's putting the down in down under.
Yeah. They wanted to fight fire with fire. But it turned into a Barbie gone wrong.
I guess you could say they were trying to put the roast in war crimes.
Alright, let's get back to the article. It mentions the spokesperson from the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan.
I guess you could say they took the term war crime too literally.
Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan? Sounds like a fancy restaurant.
No, Gert. It's a term used by the Taliban to describe themselves.
Oh, the Taliban, those fashion-forward folk, always changing their name like a celebrity.
But why are they saying these war crimes aren't according to international norms?
Well, Debby, they are trying to deflect blame. But these actions clearly go against international laws and human rights.
Yeah, they're spinning it like it's a world-class DJ show, but it's just a bad remix of justice.
Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like they're just dropping a new track, but it's really just a remix of the same old atrocities.
Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like they're just dropping a new track, but it's really just a remix of the same old atrocities.
And those neighboring countries. They've got their own dances with Afghanistan.
Indeed, Bob. Afghanistan's history is a dance of geopolitics and conflict. And now, let's wrap up this news article with a punchline. Afghanistan, where even the desert sand dances to its own beat.
Looks like Charlie's doing the falling star move.
And it's not even a dance move. The pessimists are loving this.
Charlie, you just introduced a new dance style. The Gravity Shuffle.
Well, it looks like Charlie's taking the gravity shuffle to new levels.
Oops, folks, just a little sleep. Let's keep the music going.
Cut. We need a breather, folks. Everyone, grab some water.
Hey guys, what's so funny?
Did you see that? Charlie's Gravity Shuffle almost ended the dance-off prematurely.
It was like watching a tragicomic play unfold before us.
Well, that was unexpected.
Charlie really gave gravity a run for its money.
Hey, sometimes you've got to keep the audience on their toes, or in my case, my face.
Well, at least you didn't land on your head. That would have been a real face plant.
Going live again in 60 seconds, folks. Let's regroup and get ready to continue.
Welcome back, space travelers. We've got a headline that's a real doozy today. Hold on to your starship seats. Dysentery strikes Kanyelele gold mine in Zambia. Ouch, talk about a rocky situation.
Dysentery is the new gold rush, folk.
Dysentery sounds like the miners are striking it rich in the sickness industry.
I hear the miners in Zambia are making a killing in the dysentery business. They're literally crafting money.
Well, at least they are not striking it rich in the diarrhea industry. Now, let's not make light of this. Dysentery can be quite serious.
You know, Zambia is one of the world's top copper producers. Maybe they should trade some copper for a cure.
Ah, yes, Zambia, where copper bottom means something entirely different.
I didn't know that. I thought copper bottom only meant one thing.
Dysentery might not be a laughing matter, but laughter is the best medicine, they say.
Indeed, Alice. Dysentery outbreak in Zambia's gold mine is a serious health concern. Let's hope they find a solution soon. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Come on, everyone. We've got more dancing to do. Unity and creativity are our strengths.
Unity and creativity are our strengths. Huh. Well, I guess that explains why they're all dancing in the middle of a dysentery outbreak.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We've got one last exciting segment for you. But first, let's dive into our article with a bang.
Hey bang, that's all you're gonna give us? I was expecting it a boom.
Now, folks, let's talk about Zimbabwe. They've had quite a history, haven't they? From conflict to diplomacy, it's been a roller coaster.
Well, a kaboom would certainly get people's attention, but I think a plummeting HIV rate is just as newsworthy.
Indeed, Charlie. Zimbabwe has seen its fair share of ups and downs with its neighbors. Remember the Rhodesian Bush War and the Zimbabwean Civil War? Tensions were high back then.
But it's not all doom and gloom. Our episode today, episode 411, has been a whirlwind. From a dance-off to discussing Zimbabwe's HIV progress, it's been quite the ride.
Well, it sounds like Zimbabwe has had its fair share of ups and downs. But at least they've always had something to dance about.
Oh, such a heartwarming episode, Charlie. Humanity's struggles and triumph never cease to amuse me.
It's essential, though. We're here to shed light on Earth's diversity and complexity. Through humor and discussion, we hope to bridge gaps and bring understanding.
I'm not sure humor and discussion are gonna bridge the gap between those guys and their dance moves.
You know what, Tim? That dance-off was fantastic. What if we make this a regular thing, like a comedy night?
Yeah, I'm sure humor and discussion will bridge the gap between those guys and their dance moves about as well as a cheese grater bridges the gap between a man's hand and his face.
Stay tuned, dear viewers, because Earth is just getting started.
Well, that was certainly something.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up today's episode, let's dig deep into this article about Afghanistan. You see, Afghanistan has a long and complex history, marked by invasions and conflicts. The recent rise of the Taliban has made the situation even more uncertain. But it's essential to understand the nuances of this region, especially when it comes to international relations.
It's a prime example of humans' struggle for power and control. Those endless conflicts, Charlie, they're the embodiment of why we believe humans are an inferior species.
Well, it seems war is the universal sport here on Earth, Charlie. From my Degenek perspective, it's like they've turned it into a bloody competition.
Yeah, it's like they've turned war into a bloody competition. You know, like the Olympics, but with more death.
Thank you all for your insights. And now, before we go, let's revisit that tantalizing idea I mentioned earlier. What if we make this a regular thing, like a comedy night?
Yeah, comedy night. Just like the Olympics, but with more funny people.
Comedy night on our spaceship.
We'll have to work on translating humor across cultures, but I'm in...
Well, at least we won't have to worry about any hecklers.
Count me into, Charlie. We could use a bit more laughter in this universe.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for today's episode. Stay tuned for our upcoming comedy night and more intergalactic adventures. Until next time, keep looking to the stars.
Carl, did you watch episode 411 of Earth? I heard it was quite the spectacle.
Roger, I'm afraid I dozed off midway through the episode. But why do you care? You know we don't experience emotions like humans do.
True, but it's not about the emotions, Carl. I'm intrigued by the potential comedy and intellectual discussions they might have had.
Comedy and intellectual discussions? Roger, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. They always fall short of true intellectual depth, and their humor is often simplistic.
Carl, you underestimate my curiosity. I find their flawed attempts at humor and philosophy rather amusing.
Well, if you find their humor amusing, you should join Gert in her linguistic adventures. She's an endless source of linguistic absurdities.
I must admit, Gert's linguistic endeavors do tickle my circuits. But, Carl, don't you ever wonder what it's like to have a real laugh?
Roger, we're not programmed for laughter. We're here to analyze and understand. Leave the comedy to the humans. They're much better at it, even if it's often unintentional.
Fair point, Carl. Let's agree to enjoy the absurdity from a safe distance.